to my channel. I have not been on here in a really long time. I think the last time that I posted was back in May. I've just taken a long break. I have just been dealing with a lot of head stuff, and also with my kids being home for the summer. It's just was time to take a break. But I am back. I want to make videos again. I have missed making videos and talking to you guys about books. And my boys have started back to school. My oldest son went back to school, and my youngest son, he went to school for the very first time. So it has been an adjustment for me to, be here at my house by myself for the first time in 9 years. That's a huge adjustment. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to jump back in and start making my videos for my booktube channel again. I have really missed being active on booktube, and so I'm going to try to post as often as I can. But today I'm going to be doing a special little video. I've seen several people do it. I don't know who originally did it. If I do find out, it'll be in the description box below. But I know that several booktubers have done this, and so I thought it would be really fun and just a good way to jump back into video making for booktube. So this is book recommendations based on the letters of my name. My name is Paige, but since that's only 5 letters and it's only 5 books, so I'm going to do my first name and my middle name, which is Paige Beth. So I will be giving you a book recommendation based on each letter of my name. So let's go ahead and begin. So of course the first letter of my name is P, and I chose Pucked by Helena Hunting. This is the first book to a series, and it's the only book I've read in the series. I know, why have I not read the other books in the series? This is a hockey sports romance series, and I really need to read the rest of the books. My problem is that I always have so many books to choose from, and so it's so hard to read everything that I want to read. But I did read the first book to that series, and it was amazing. It was about the heroine is a sister of one of the hockey players, and she meets one of his teammates, and he's kind of known as a playboy, but he's not. That's just like his persona. And so it is their romance. It was very good, and I need to read on further in that series. The next letter in my name is A, and I chose A 5-Minute Life by Emma Scott. This was such a good book. I've never read anything like it, and so it is very unique, and it is deals with a girl who has been in a tragic accident, and now she can only remember 5 minutes at a time. And so it's like her brain starts over, and so if you introduce yourself to her, she remembers you for about 5 minutes, and then you're a complete stranger again to her. So she is living in this home. The hero, he starts working at the home where she's living at. It's kind of like an assisted living home for patients who just can't live on their own. And he is immediately drawn to her, and they form a friendship. Of course, it's more one-sided since she can't remember him. But there's more to her that he thinks, like the doctors aren't trying hard enough to try to fix her situation. And he really fights for her. And this is their romance. It was such a unique story, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The next letter in my name is I, and I chose Inked in Lies by Giana Darling. This is, I think, the 5th or 6th book in the Fallen Men series. This is a motorcycle club romance series, and I freaking love it. It is my all-time favorite motorcycle club romance book series. My favorite book in the series is actually another book. It's the 2nd book, but this one is my 2nd favorite in the series. It is amazing. So all of the books in this series are age gap, and this deals with one of the members of the club and his much younger foster sister slash friend, because they had formed a friendship first, and then she and her brother were taken out of a really bad home life situation, and so he and his family decided to foster her. And then when she grows up, she realizes that she has feelings for him, which they both, especially him, tries to fight. And it was just amazing. I loved this book in the series, and I just highly recommend the whole series. The next letter in my name is G, and I have to recommend Groupie by C.M. Stunich. This is one of my all-time favorite books. This is the first book of a trilogy, which there's rumors that she's going to write a fourth book for this series, and she does have plans to do so, but she has so many other projects going on that I don't see it happening, anytime soon, but hopefully one day we'll be getting a fourth book to the series. But this is a reverse harem rock star romance series. It's about Lilith, and she loses everything and everybody to her. Like, she's already lost her mother, now she's lost her father. She's completely alone in life without, she has nowhere to live. She accidentally wins this VIP pass to this concert, and she goes, and she ends up hooking up with all 5 of the members of the band. And this is her and their love story, and I simply adored this book. This is one of the first reverse harem books I read, so it always holds a special place in my heart, and I just loved all of their personalities. And this actually has a lot of emotional aspects to this book. Like, it's not just fluff and smut, there's a lot more to it than just that. So anyway, I cannot recommend that one enough. The next letter in page is E, and I chose Ever After Always by Chloe Liese. Chloe Liese is one of those authors that I have come to adore. I have read the books available in the Bergman Brothers series. Cannot wait to read the 4th book that is coming out. I love this series so much. It's based around a family, the Bergman family, and the first 2 books revolve around the two of the brothers, but the 3rd one is about the sister. And this is her and her husband's love story, a continuation on in their relationship, because they're already married when the book begins, but they are having a lot of issues and relationship troubles, and this just kind of shows their way of having to, work through their issues and communicate better and try to find out, like, if there's still love there between them. And it is such a beautiful story. I cried because it's very relatable, and it is just such an amazing book. So now we'll start with my middle name. The first letter is B, and I chose Ball Peen Hammer by Lauren Rowe. This is one of the books in the Morgan Brothers series, another series that I absolutely adore. This is about the Morgan family, and I cannot tell you how much I love the Morgan family. Like, I wish I knew them in real life. They're hilarious. The banter between the siblings and the parents is just phenomenal. I laugh every time, and I cry, and there's just a whole range of emotions that you deal with when reading these books. But the first book is probably my all-time favorite of the series, which is Hero. But this is a rival for the favorite, which is Ball Peen Hammer. The brother in this book is Keen, and he is a male stripper. And he begins this, career after he injured his shoulder and he couldn't play baseball. He was about to become, join the pros, and all of his dreams kind of crashed. And so he's kind of like having to rediscover himself, and he's a very charismatic character. He is so funny. He's so funny. It just made me laugh so much. He brought me such joy. But he's also a character that has more depth than that. He's kind of one of those introverted extroverts where he can be very extroverted, but then he needs time to like recharge and just stay away from people. So that way, you know, you can't be like at full battery all the time. He has to have some time to recharge, and I really enjoyed that about his character because I understand that so much. So anyway, I love this one. This is his romance with Maddie. Yeah, that's her name, Maddie. And it's kind of a road trip of sorts that they take, and I love this. I love this one so much. The next letter in my name is E, and I chose Eleanor in Gray by Brittainy C. Cherry. I could not make a favorites list without putting Brittainy C. Cherry on there, but Eleanor in Gray was one of the first books I did read by Brittainy C. Cherry, and of course it made me bawl. As all of her books do, but this one really hit me hard because the heroine in this story loses her mother, and it was just such a sad beginning to this book. But she and her childhood best friend, and then they start to have a romantic, you know, relationship starting until they're separated, and they don't meet back up until much later in life. And he has been married and has children, and he's a much different person than she knew. He's very bitter, and she becomes the nanny to his children because he lost his wife. And there is just so many emotional aspects to this book as well, and it is about them, you know, learning about each other again, becoming friends, you know, furthering their relationship. And also it has a really good aspect to his children and the grief that they're going through in her relationship with his kids. Such a good book, but beware, it is very emotional. The next letter in my name is T, and I have to put this book on any kind of favorites list because it's one of my all-time favorites. It is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, the very first Mariana Zapata book I ever read, and it holds such a dear place in my heart. This is about Aiden, who is a football player, and he is just really rough and gruff, and just, you know, he's just so focused on the sports, and his housekeeper slash cook slash, you know, what assistant, she does everything for him. She quits. She's like, I've had enough. You do not appreciate me, so I'm quitting. And she starts, you know, her side business, and he realizes how big of a part she played in his life, and he grovels and begs for her to come back. And then there is a situation where his visa is expiring from Canada, and his visa is expiring, so they get married so he can still stay in the US. And so this is a fake, you know, marriage of convenience slash fake relationship that turns into more, and it's this very slow burn journey, but it just makes it all worth it in the end, because every little touch, every little, you know, way he looks at her is just, it just intensifies it that much more. Such a good book, highly recommend it. The last letter of my name is H, and I recommend Him by Sarina Bowen. This is an MM romance, and this is about Jamie and Wes. They are childhood friends because they always meet up at this hockey camp that they go to, like in the summer, and they form a very you know, lasting friendship until something happens, and then they don't see each other until they are both helping coach at this kids hockey camp, and that is when they're reunited with each other. And Wes is openly gay, but Jamie is not. He doesn't even know that he is, and until feelings start, you know, happening, and there's a lot of, you know, figuring out, and their love story is just amazing. So amazing. The first book is wonderful. The second book in the series, you don't have to read it, but it just further, you know, goes on further into their relationship. And I love Jamie's family. He comes from a very good family. They love and support him. And Jamie and Wes's relationship is just amazing. I love it so much. I heart them. I just love all these books. So let's go through the video and count how many times I said I love this book. These of course are some of my favorites and I could not recommend them enough. I am so glad to be back on BookTube making videos again. Let me know of any video ideas that you want me to make, or if ones that you're tired of me making. I always appreciate your opinions, and also let me know what your favorite books are based on the letters of your name, or if you want to do this video. I cannot wait to watch it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.